Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. And welcome to our second card for this week's stamp set of the week, Fern and Flora. So it is this, in case you haven't seen Monday's video, it is this 12 image stamp set here. It's an actual bundle. Comes with stamp set, dies, papers, ribbons, embellishments, you name it, it's there. It's the set that keeps on giving. But for today, we are going to use the stamp set, which, as I said, has got 12 images. We've got the dies, which has 14 images. So they cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images that aren't included in the stamp set. So it gives you extra foliage, and then obviously you've got the images that come in the stamp set. So you've got this one is this one. You've got the flowers, you've got butterflies and moths. And you've also got like the sentiment cut out as well. But we're also going to bring in today the embossing folder. It's this beautiful embossing folder of lots of ferns. I think you can probably see it quite close up to the camera. So this is the card we're going to create. We're going to make the embossing folder and the dies do most of the work today. I have done a little stamping inside. Right, so let's bring in the supplies. I've got, she says, let's move that side. Okay, so this is Secret C. It measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. Needs to be scored at 4 inches and folded in half. Then I've got Golden Glow. As you can see, I've cut a hole out of that already, using my Spotlight on Nature. So you've got Golden Glow, which is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. We've then got 2 pieces of white, which measure 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then you'll need scraps of paper to cut out all your dies. And as you can see, I have already done most of that work already. So this card is going to come together very quickly now that everything is already cut out. Oh, and I've also got a circle used from the Spotlight on Nature again. Right, so let's move these aside. We're going to bring in one of the pieces, which is going to be the inside layer, and we'll do a little bit of stamping on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Old Olive. And I'm going to stamp up some of these lines. Pop it there. Then I'm going to bring in my soft sea foam and the foliage. And because the image is so big, I'm going to bring this stamp set, or sorry, the ink pad to the stamp rather than the other way around. Make sure it's all covered. And then I'm just going to add a bit onto there, like so. I've got the Golden Glow. So again, if you haven't seen this ink pad, it's a new ink pad. It's magnetic. It just pulls apart. So there's none of the normal. So this is one of the old ones where you squeeze the bottom and you move it over. This one is magnetic, and you literally fold it, and then this one you can just push at the back and it stays together like so. It does come apart, but it stays together so you don't get the wrong lids for the wrong papers, or the wrong lids for the wrong inks rather than the papers. So I'm going to stamp up my fern leaf, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit there. And then again, you just unfold it like so. Now, I've got 2 of these, so I've got it in the Peaceful Pine as well. And you lay them on top of each other, and they are magnetic. Perfect. Right, and then I'm just going to bring in my Berry Burst and my Moth, she says. There'll be none of this struggling of trying to open ink pads. So they're only doing the new ink colours in that pad at the moment. And then I believe 2027, the full range will be available. There we go. So we've got the moth for the inside. So that is the inside layer. Let's bring in the white sentiment. We've got Happy Birthday, and I'm going to use the Secret C. Yeah. So I'm going to ink up the birthday first of all. Right, excuse me. Pop that down as the birthday. And then I'm going to bring in the happy. Again, ink that up. Make sure my happy is straight. There we are. We've got happy birthday. So that is all the stamping done for now. Okay, I'll put those aside. Now, if you're going to, I've got my Golden Glow in my spotlight on nature. I have cut out a circle there. So there's 2 circles. Sorry, it's 2 circles. Just going to quickly poke out these last pieces that didn't come through. As you can see, it's quite easy to do. Right, push those aside. That will sit on top of there, so let's layer that up while we're here. And we don't lose it. And being circles, it doesn't matter if they're not too straight because you can just move them around. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to take our embossing folder. Now you've got this line here. If it's facing up with Stampin' Up logo, it means that the embossing folder is the correct way. What you're going to do is you take your piece of white cardstock and pop it in, and then you're going to run it through the cut and emboss machine, and it will come out looking like that. Okay, that will then go over the top of this, so we don't have to worry too much. I'm going to use my multi-purpose to stick it down. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, should I? Look, going through it. Never mind, we'll be brave, we'll be brave. I was using the multi-purpose, so it just went around the edges. There we go. I've got the glue everywhere, so let's get rid of that. How many times have you done that? Isn't it a nightmare? Thankfully, there is more paper underneath, so we don't have to worry too much. So I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to take my Secret C, I'm going to fold it in half, as I have forgotten to score it, and I'm then just going to burnish it with my bone folder, like so. Now we can layer the centerpiece on, and again, it doesn't matter this time where we put the glue, as we want it all to stick down. Okay, so that just goes over. And the advantage of taking the circle out of the middle of the paper, obviously, is that once you've put the white over it, nobody's going to know. So while we're here, let's add our section in the middle. So I'm just going to run my Stampin' Seal over the top, open that up, and then that will just go inside. Oops, like so. Now, this is going to sit on the middle here, and then we just want to add the decorations around. So I've already cut out loads of these. So there's soft sea foam, so I've got one of those. You've got, let's get it in a different colour. So we've got, I want to get the blue to match that one. Pecan pie, you've got old olive, there's soft sea foam, you've got, we've got the golden glow, which is that one, to match that, so that's quite good. Let's see what else we can add in. So you've got the peaceful pine. Let's have a see, what else have I got here? Let's have a quick look. We've got a circle bit to make it pop. I do love this particular fern. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I love it. I think it's beautiful. Okay, those 3 pieces. There's also, you can also get flowers. So if I just move these aside for a second, you can see that you've got these little things here. They make up flowers. So you put them together. They come out in one big strip, and then you just pop them over the top like so. So let's have a look. Let me see. Oh, hello you. I'll do one there. And we've got that one. And that bit can go over there. So they add up to little flowers. You could have those as little flowers there. And then you've got these ones here as little flowers onto there. Okay, right, so let's get rid of all of these bits and then we can work back on the card. So add all these in. Always handy to keep them in a little pot so that we don't lose them. Let's bring these off the table. Oops. Right, okay. So what we need to do now is to work out where these are going. So if you're happy with the layout, like so, my suggestion is that you pop it down, work out that it's in the right place for your sentiment. Actually, what I'm going to do, I want that one to go under. I don't want it to sit. I don't want it to, it's going to sit there, and then that will go over the top, like so. And it will sit there, and then we don't have this colour touching. There we go. It's broken up, shall I say, by the pink, in a way. There we go. This is going to be the hardest. The hardest bit is arranging the ferns so that you're happy with them. Let's move the flowers for a second. Let's move those around to there. Right. What I'm going to do is I am going to work out where my flower's going to go there. So my ferns need to go around about there. So I'm going to put a bit of sticky there so we can stick them. So this one is going to go up to the top on there. Then I've got the blue or the secret sea. It can go there, and then I'm going to add the pink or the blue berry burst into there. I'm wondering if I might change that and bring in soft sea foam instead. It just doesn't sit right for me. So let's have a look. Wrong one. It's here. There it is. Again, I need to poke out a few bits, so I can do that with my pokey tool. Put it there for a second. And it's just literally these tiny bits. They just don't seem to come out, so you just spend a couple of seconds poking them out, because as you can see, they're fairly easy coming out. Now move those over. Let's see, do I like that better? I'm not going to stick it down just yet. Just want to make sure that that works. See, that doesn't work either, does it? Right, okay, let's try some greenery. Does that work better? That sort of works better, doesn't it? Right, so this is Mossy Meadow I've used here. So let's put all those back. I'm going to use the muted tones. Right, so then I just want to add a bit more of that on there. And then that can stick on the top. Like so. So the thing to do, I don't want it to totally cover up the golden glow. I do want the golden glow to show through. There we go. That's better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put dimensionals on the bottom section of here. So let's make sure it's that way around. Bring in my dimensionals. Okay. and that will then pop over there like so. Okay, and then the flowers fit underneath. Right, so the last thing to do is this time I'm going to actually add some of these beautiful flowers that I'm going to create. So I'm going to use these, and I'm going to bring in some of the bling as well. So let's do that. Tiny bits of glue. So I'm going to have one bit here, and I'm going to do it on the flat rather than the bit that is raised. I'm going to bring in my reverse of my take a pick, because then I can pick up and position perfectly in place my flower, and I just put a dab on there and pick the bit that goes over, hold it down for a second. Okay, that's one. Let's have the other one here. There's a gap. Again, pick that one up, add it on. Another tiny dot of glue. Oops, that's not good, is it? There we go. Tiny bit of glue there. Pick that one up. And that will fit onto there. Hold it down for a few seconds. Lovely. And then our third one will go. This is raised, but not as raised as everything else. So I'll pick that one up. And I'm going to pick that one to go there. Hold it for a second. And then I'm going to add another bit to go just underneath. I'm going to have it turned like so. Hold that a second. Right. Okay. So now what we can do is to give it a bit of bling, we can use our clear embellishment. These are dew drops. Maybe, yeah. Perfect. Right, and that is our card for today. So, do you like it with the added flowers or just the dewdrops? Put your comments in the bottom and below. That would be lovely, and I will come back to you as soon as I notice that they're on the page. Thank you ever so much for joining me today, and don't forget we're back on Friday for Funky Fold. Bye!